Hello everyone, welcome to the Azure Advent Calendar. My name is Hugo Barona and I'm an Azure Solutions Architect, and today I'm going to talk about Azure Cognitive Service and how you can leverage this service to build rich applications with artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities to fit your business needs. First of all, I would like to thank you to dedicate your time to watch the videos produced by many of the collaborators in the Azure community, and also a big thank you to Richard Hopper, aka Pixel Robots, and Gregor Soot to design and implement this amazing initiative to share knowledge related to Azure between the Azure community members. Okay, so let's not wait any longer and let's start. So I will start by explaining what are Azure Cognitive Service and which service and features it provides. Then we will explore the support for cognitive service containers and how you can use cognitive service together with Docker containers. We will also see the different ways you have available to create and manage your cognitive service and the ways to use cognitive service by leveraging its APIs and SDKs. We will also explore some real-world scenarios using cognitive service by also talking about some Microsoft customers using cognitive service to fit their business needs. Then I will explain the main difference between the Azure Cognitive Service and Azure Machine Learning so you can understand in which scenarios you should use each of these options. And we will finish this presentation by exploring a demo app that I prepared to show a practical example using cognitive service. Okay, let's start by exploring the definition of Azure Cognitive Service. So Azure Cognitive Service is a group of services available to help people easily integrate the built-in artificial intelligence with their applications and provide applications with rich machine learning and artificial intelligence capabilities. And the best of this, it does not require from you any special artificial intelligence or data science skills. So it uses pre-trained models to save your time on building and training those models. You can also easily integrate this service with your applications by leveraging the set of APIs and SDKs that Azure provides to you. The catalog of service within Azure Cognitive Service can be categorized into 5 main groups: vision, speech, language, web search, and decision. In case you want to have access to more information about cognitive service, you have this reference to the cognitive service documentation provided by Microsoft. One of the group of APIs we have available is the Vision APIs. This group of APIs allows you to identify and analyze contents within image, video, and digital ink. So we start by the computer vision service that allows you to process and analyze content in image and return relevant information describing and classifying the image. Then you have custom vision that allows you to customize image recognition and classification by building custom image classifiers to fit your business needs. Also, we have the Face API that provides you face attributes detection and recognition. So for example, you can identify people, and describe emotions in image. In case you need to process form documents, you have the Form Recognizer service that allows you to identify and extract key value pairs and organize the data in a structured way, including the relationships in the original documents. On the other side, using the ink recognizer, you can recognize and analyze digital ink stroke data, shapes, and handwritten content, and generate a document with all recognized entities. Last but not least, you can leverage the video indexer to analyze the image and audio of your videos and index the content, so then you can extract insights from it. In case you need to leverage search service, you have the search APIs available that allows you to easily find what you are looking for from the World Wide Web. We have an extended set of APIs that leverage the web search engine Bing to enable you to perform your search in an easy and smooth way. The first is the Bing Auto-Suggests that allows the users to complete search queries faster by providing suggestions. In case you need to customize the search, you have the Bing Custom Search that you can leverage to provide a custom search experience to the end users. The Bing Entity Search allows to recognize and classify named entities and provide search results based on them. In case you need to provide search capabilities to your applications, you can leverage the Bing Image Search to search for images, or the Bing Video Search to search for videos, or even the Bing News Search to search for news. Also, instead of using textual search, if you want to perform search using image, you can use the Bing Visual Search. In case you want to combine all those search in one, you can use the Bing Web Search that allows you to search for relevant information from web results, image, news, videos, and visuals. Last, you have the Bing Spell Check that allows you to identify and fix words, breaks, slangs, names, and more. As you can see, you have plenty of APIs and features available that allow you to perform your different search in an easy and fast way and leverage the search capabilities in your applications. We also have the speech APIs that allows you to integrate speech processing into your applications and service. To start, we have a set of speech service, including the speech to text that allows you to quickly process audible speech and transcribe into text. Also, we can perform the reverse using text to speech, so convert your text to audible speech. In case you want to provide real-time speech translation in your applications, then you can leverage the speech translation service. Last, we have the speaker recognition that allows you to identify people speaking by processing a given audition. We also have the language APIs that process unstructured text and extract some meaning from it. In case you want to improve the reading comprehension for the users of your application, then you can leverage Immersive Reader that helps readers to comprehend text by using techniques with audio and visual cues, such as showing content in a minimal reading view, displaying pictures for commonly used words, highlighting nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, and much more techniques. Then we have the language understanding LUIS service that allows you to provide natural language understanding into your applications, bots, and IoT devices. This is a service used a lot in scenarios of chatbots to provide customer support in different ways depending on the business and in an automated way. Then we have the Q&A maker that allows you to create knowledge base with questions and answers from semi-structured content, including facts, product manuals, guidelines, support documents, policies, and more. After you create the knowledge base, the service will improve it with suggestions for alternative questions depending on the usage. This service will enable you to create a bot that will be able to provide answers to the questions stored in the knowledge base, and you can also add personality to your bot to adjust to the type of persona using your bot. We also have text analytics service that allows you to analyze text and detect sentiments, identify key phrases, named entities in text, and more. Last but not least, we have the translator text service that allows you to translate text in a given language to more than 60 supported language. Also, it provides you useful features such as online and offline translation in your apps, build customized translation system, look up for alternative translations for words, and language auto detection, and more. Another interesting set of service is the decision APIs. This service allows you to analyze your data and make accurate decisions. One of the services available is the anomaly detector that allows you to embed anomaly detection capabilities into your apps and enables you to proactively and quickly identify problems occurring in your apps. This service is in preview mode currently. Then we have the content moderator service that allows you to perform content moderation in an automated way, so you can identify offensive or unwanted content quickly and before publish it to your customers. Last but not least, we have the personalizer service that allows you to easily personalize content to the users of your applications, so you can improve the user experience and user satisfaction. Azure Cognitive Service provides you support to use containers as well. So container support in Azure Cognitive Service allows you to use same Cognitive Service APIs that are available in Azure, and they have the flexibility to decide where to deploy and host your service using Docker containers. It is important to keep in mind that this is not providing full support for all cognitive service. So currently it only supports the following service of APIs: anomaly detector, computer vision, face, form recognizer, language understanding (LUIS), speech service API, and text analytics. In terms of creating and managing cognitive service, one method you have available is using the Azure Portal. You have different options to create your cognitive service. You can create a cognitive service account and access multiple Azure cognitive service with a single key and endpoint, or you can create individual service endpoints for each service you need to use and access each service with a unique key and a given endpoint. Using this second option allows you to use the free tier to try out the service, whereas the first option, using cognitive service account, has a pricing associated. All the services with pricing associated, your billing is using a consumption model, so you pay for what you consume. In case you want to access more information in relation to all operations available in Azure Portal, you can access this reference to the official Azure's documentation. Another option you have available is using the Azure Command Line Interface, CLI. I prepared an example of a CLI command to create your cognitive service account. As you can see in the image, you start your command with the AZ keywords, and then you specify the type of service you want to manage, in this case cognitive service, and then you specify the type of resource to run the command, and in this case it is an account, and then the verb, and in this case it is create, since we want to create a new account. Then you specify the name, the resource group, the kind of service you want to use, the pricing tier or SKU, and the location that you want to create the resource. It is important to mention that using the FA as the SKU, you are actually using the free tier in this service, and the value of anomaly detector is the kind parameter will actually create a single anomaly detect service for you. In case you want to use multiple service, you would need to use cognitive service as value in the kinds parameter. In case you want to export other operations you can execute for cognitive service using Azure CLI, you can access this reference to the documentation. The third method is using PowerShell scripting and the Azure ARM library. In this case, I have this example of a command available in this library that allows you to create a cognitive service account. Similar to the Azure CLI command showed previously, you have default parameters such as name, resource group, location, and more. Again, the important detail is related with the type of service you select, and consequently the pricing tier or SKU that you use. This command is available in the cognitive service module of Azure ARM library. In case you want to export other commands available in this library, please have a look to this reference to the documentation. Another method really useful is using Azure Resource Manager ARM templates. These methods allows you to follow the infrastructure as a code or IAC concept to enable you to create templates with specifications for your Azure resource, and then use these machine readable files to set up required Azure resource to test and run your codes and your applications. Again, as you can see, I highlighted the kind parameter where you can play and specify the kind of service that you want to actually use. This reference is actually for my GitHub account, where I created complete ARM templates as an example for you how to create a cognitive service account. In terms of using cognitive service, we have at least two ways to do it. One way is using the provided cognitive service REST API. In terms of REST APIs, you have a cognitive service management API that provides operations for managing your cognitive service accounts. Then you have REST APIs available for each of the endpoints you have available in your cognitive service account. And these APIs provide operations to allow you to manage each of the service and the related data. Then we have the option of using software development kits, SDKs, that allows you to leverage your favorite programming language to build custom applications to interact with your cognitive service account and endpoints. Out of the box, you have SDKs available for several programming languages and frameworks, including .NET, Node.js, Java, and Python. Microsoft provides success stories of some of their customers explaining how they use cognitive service to leverage their business. We have the story of Uber that used the facial recognition service to ensure that the driver using the Uber app at a given point in time is the same driver associated to the account configured in the app. Then we have the story of Jet.com that leveraged cognitive service to provide a chatbot featured for customer care and support. We also have the story of Minsur that used cognitive service to monitor the sustainability of their process for transforming polluted water into an agricultural resource. Then we have the CM translator device provided by Shita Mobile that leverage the translator's text service to enabling real-time translation of conversations. Last but not least, we have the Seattle Against Slavery that use cognitive service to help organizations to connect with trafficking victims, disrupt exploitation, and more. So these organizations can help these people and save their lives, basically. You can read more about each of these stories by accessing the following article available in the cognitive service documentation. So in terms of real scenarios using cognitive service, you can automate, for example, the content moderation before publishing the content to your applications. So you ensure that you are publishing valid contents. You can also leverage the language understanding LUIS service together with Azure Bot service and provide chatbots to support your customers in scenarios such as checking hotel room availability and reserve rooms, or even checking restaurant menu and ordering food and more. Also, you can have image processing, so you can leverage the computer vision API to perform image processing and use it in scenarios such as classifying image to serve them in your applications with relevant metadata, identifying people in image, and more. You can use personalizer service to personalize contents to the users of your applications and improve the user experience. Also, you can leverage speech service and speech to text feature to convert audio into text and apply it in many scenarios, such as automatically transcribing meetings in real time. You can use, for example, form recognizer to increase efficiency with automated text extraction and feedback loop. Also, you can use the ink recognizer as a service that recognizes digital ink content such as handwriting, shapes, and ink document layout for various scenarios such as note-taking, form filling, or even content search and document annotation. So definitely there are differences between cognitive service and machine learning service. I would like to highlight some of the main difference to allow you to understand in which scenarios you should consider to use cognitive service and in which scenarios you should consider to use Azure Machine Learning. Starting by cognitive service, it gives you an abstraction of algorithms and trained models being used. So you can focus on just using the service and your data to fit your business needs. It also provides you a set of APIs and SDKs to allow you to easily integrate your applications with this service so you can leverage the features that it provides. Therefore, using cognitive service will require some programming language knowledge, so you can make a request to its API or use the SDKs and write code to use the cognitive service. The SDKs will give you an abstraction of the APIs and will make it easier to use the service, and behind the scenes will make the request to the APIs for yourself. Then we have the Azure Machine Learning. Besides the fact that cognitive service is based on machine learning, The cognitive service contains algorithms and trained models built to fit specific business needs, but sometimes you may face a different business need that no service or feature available in the cognitive service could fit in. So in this case, you may need to build a custom solution with an algorithm and train a model to fit that business need. And consequently, in order to build this custom solution, it requires you machine learning or data science knowledge. So to summarize, I believe that if any of these service or features provided by Azure Cognitive Service fits your business needs, then you should consider to use it to fit your business needs. In case there is no service or feature available that can fit your business needs, then you can leverage Azure Machine Learning to build your custom solution to fit your needs. So as I mentioned, I prepared the demo app just to show in practice how you can use one possible scenario that you can use the cognitive service. In this case, I just created a logic app with a trigger for Twitter that would basically search for tweets with the hashtag Azure Advent Calendar, and will basically index all these tweets and would process them. During the processing of each tweet, it, it will call the cognitive service, the sentiment analysis, to analyze the sentiments of the tweet text, and then it will basically store the scores provided by the cognitive service in a Cosmos DB. And then I just decided to leverage the reporting features. I just decided to connect Power BI with the Cosmos DB, so I could create some sample reports showing some data, relevant data in relation with the scores obtained for the different dates in order to show you a quick example. Okay, so I'll show you quickly the logic that I configured on my logic app. So all the workflow configured. In terms of Cosmos DB, as I mentioned, I created a Cosmos DB database and accounts, and then pretty much I followed all the steps of the wizard using the Azure Portal to create the Cosmos DB. There was no custom configuration. Then I just had to create a container to just store my tweets there. And the same applies with the cognitive service. I just created an account again, following the wizard on the Azure portal. And once you create the account, then you just need to collect the endpoints and the key and use them to connect to your application, or even in this case, I just connected to the Logic app. So in here, I started by setting up the trigger to use a Twitter trigger in my Logic app. And this trigger basically is searching for tweets with the hashtag Azure Advent Calendar. And it runs every 3 minutes to check for new tweets. Once it detects a new tweet, basically sends the tweet text to the sentiment analysis. In here, you need to configure a connection to your cognitive service API. And then once you receive the result, I'm basically composing a JSON object with the tweet score and the tweet dates and the tweet texts and also an ID. And then basically I'm posting this case to Azure Search Service, because initially my plan was to create an Azure Search so I could leverage the search capabilities that it provides out of the box. But since I was planning to also create some reports, I realized that Power BI no longer has connected to Azure Search. So consequently, I end up creating a Cosmos DB account, and consequently I created as well an extra step to store the tweet with the score in the Cosmos DB. So I could then connect my Power BI with the Cosmos DB and generate reports in relation with the scores obtained from the sentiment analysis of the given tweets. So now let's just move to the Power BI so I can show you the reports I just created. Okay, so we move to the Power BI. Here I will start by showing you how I got my data. So basically I have here all my tweets. I have I have 277 tweets at the moment. So this is just a sample data. that I collected between a time period. So you basically start by using the get data feature, and in here basically you search by Cosmos DB source, and then you just connects, and you just specify the URL of the source of your Cosmos DB in this case, the name of the database and the name of the collection. And also you have the ability to basically specify a SQL statement. So in case you want to just partially import your data, don't import everything, you can specify a SQL statement and define the set of data that you want to import. Once you import the data, I just had to change the types of few columns. In this case, the tweet score to number and the tweet date to dates, and then I started to create my reports. On the reports, I have few reports here. The first one is the tweet score by day. So in here we can see by blue lights we have the tweet score, by dark blue we have the count of tweet score. Okay, so in this case, for example, in day 8 of December, we have a accumulated tweet score of 32.03 and 18 tweets collected. Day 9 we have one tweet and we have a score of 0.70. It's important to mention that the score coming from the sentiment analysis is values between 0 and 1. So as you can see here, day 10, we have a accumulated score of 931 and a count of 5 tweets. And as you can see here, the next days, we had more tweets, more score accumulated, of course. And for example, I could potentially consider here to change these reports, and instead of showing the sum, I could put showing the average. Again, as you can see here, on day 7 we have an average of 0.99 for one tweet. Day 8 we have 18 tweets and we have an average of 0.84, but it looks like the average is really high, above 80%, so that's good. That means people are tweeting about this event and are really happy about what they are tweeting and what they are seeing as well. So in the second report, I just collected the number of tweets in order to have more and less an aggregated view of the number of tweets I was collecting. So I have most of the days I have around 10 or a little bit more tweets per day. Then I just collected here the lists of tweets, so we could see here the different tweets. I will, yeah, actually I have here already ordered. It's important to show you something here. So for example, the first thing is related with the first tweets. Here we can see the tweet had a really low score, and this is because it looks like somebody is not so happy because someone else adds more hits on the video than himself. Potentially the person is just playing around, I would say. Then we have another entry with 0.22. Here we can see the text is really short, so actually the service was not able to calculate accurately the sentiments in this text. Then we have this one. I can see here some typos, and that's important as well because these typos can compromise the analysis of the service for the sentiments. And then we have here two entries. As you can see here, we have 0.5, and I assume this is because in those two entries we actually don't have any text that we could analyze the sentiments. So that's why we get this result. Apart from that, as you can see, then we start the sentiment at 0.70 and it moves on until some tweets that have the max score as sentiments, as we can see here, 1000 subscribers. So this is two tweets on 17th and 18th, just informing that the channel hit 1000 subscribers. So as you can see here, this is quite simple to have a view of your data, and especially in this case, you could use this kind of approach in scenarios of analyzing customer satisfaction, and consequently, you could proactively contact some of the unhappy customers. So you could, for example, create an automated bot, chat bot that could detect the tweets with score below than a given rule, for example, 0 0.4, and would contact automatically the clients just trying to get some hits about the issue in case it was a real issue. And just to show you the final report, so we can see here an average of 0 0.88 as score on all tweets for the Azure Advent calendar. So we can assume that people are really happy about the events and they are tweeting with sentiment basically. And we reached the end of our presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a brief summary of the different cognitive service you have available that allows you to build custom applications with artificial intelligence capabilities to fit your business needs. And the most important thing is without requiring artificial intelligence or data science skills. Also, we saw some real world scenarios and histories of Microsoft customers using cognitive service to provide amazing solutions. Here you have a list of my contacts that you can reach me in case you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. So feel free to contact me, and Merry Christmas to all of us.